is a podcast about anything we think is interesting or funny, including lots of music and pop culture discussion, and of course dad-isms ad-libbed by us, three friends who have cracked each other up for the last 25 years. We hope you enjoy our episode. It's a thirst trap.
Let's raise it. I think he was more saying that we needed a format, like segments, that kind of thing.
Today on the program, we're going to...
more like not so much that formal, but more like...
But throughout your week, you come in with kind of notes of stuff that you want to bring up, and like, instead of just jamming.
Yeah, like this is the section where we talk about pop culture.
Right.
Or
we kind of freeform
all over the place.
We kind of freeform jazz speak.
Yeah.
And it could start with the war in Ukraine and wind up turning into Kirk Hammett.
Yes.
Well, today I got a new segment. It's called Old Man Yells at Cloud.
Which my wife tells me I do constantly.
It's a Simpsons reference. Mm-hmm. You ever seen that? Mm-hmm. It's a meme, but it really is a picture of Grandpa Simpson with his fist in the air yelling at a cloud. Now, that's
with
me.
the why I oughta.
We can old man rant. I think I did it this week with boot, stomp, clap.
You did go off on that.
What was that about? What was I talking about?
Is that a line dance?
You started texting me because you found something that...
I know what it was.
Let's hear it.
Well, it was...
Let's raise it.
It was... there's a thing every year, and it's by this thing that... They're on Facebook, but it's a website called Gems on VHS, and they have like a Gems in the Rough every year.
And they were all bluegrass.
It was, I just scrolled through all of it. I always love to like listen to what's out there, which I do. I want to like it, okay? And so I scrolled through all these things, and everybody's got suspenders and a banjo.
That's hot right now.
It's not hot.
So hot.
It's very
so
much.
hot right now.
There is the bluegrass revolution is taking a...
Well, but that was like 10 years ago. So it's,
bare feet are the new black, bruh.
So here's what I came up with that day thinking about this, looking at, I'm not down on the originators, okay? I mean, who was the originator? Mumford & Sons, right? 2010, 2011?
No.
They weren't the first. This is the first I heard of.
At some point, around 2010, 2015, every dude that was ever in a punk rock band, they all was like, well, Johnny Cash. And I'm going to write this country record now.
Yeah,
sure.
And, well, I've always just liked whiskey, and I've always had these. It's just, man, and I think a lot of that was just getting older, and they were like, this eyeliner and this is getting a little bit ridiculous now that I'm, 40, obviously.
Americana took off.
I will agree with you that punk
and it's
became
progressed,
Americana.
and it's progressed, and it's just gotten more and more backwards.
But here's what I say. Okay, go back 1978, right? Van Halen 1 hits the shelves, and everybody is out of their mind. And you think, from now looking back, it's like, what? I mean, there was heavy metal, Black Sabbath existed, but there was something like different about it.
Yeah.
You go 3 more years, 1981, 82. Hair metal's really like, people have taken that. Everybody's Eddie Van Halen, right? Everybody's trying to be finger tapping virtuoso. 3 more years after that, it starts getting ridiculous, right? You got Enough's Enough. Towards the end of it, what do you see?
But it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. And who came out at the end? The Nelson Twins. If you don't know, the Nelson Twins, they were Ricky Nelson, country western star. Twins born, silver spoon in their mouth.
And they were gorgeous.
And as far as people were concerned, in that genre, they had the look. I can hear the execs going, you got to listen to their music. I don't even care. Do you see that hair? Do you see the big, all the stuff they're wearing?
He's gorgeous, and guess what? There's 2 of them.
At the end of that, you also had Extreme with More Than Words. And then Damn Yankees, the supergroup.
Oh, there you go.
So, I mean, it's like it started here, it peaked, and then people kept trying to one-up each other to get out in front of it.
Yeah, I wear more spandex.
Yeah,
I have more hair. Right?
So you're saying it started with like the punk guys being like, okay, well, we're gonna get a little country, and now that has progressed to like dudes are just wearing
overalls and barefoot,
suspenders, barefoot, and chewing on straw.
So who's hot right now in the whole folk?
I have no idea.
Whiskey folk.
I don't know who's hot in
Boot
anything.
stomp. boot stomp.
I hear a song and I think, oh, this has got to be new, and I look it up and it's from 2012. I don't know anything
But
modern.
they all have the same thing. Like now, you go back to the 80s and everybody's got like, pointy guitars and all that stuff, like to a ridiculous level. Now you've got the skinny suspenders and an accordion and a banjo. Some guy's beating a pot and pan, and then every kick drum,
Washboard.
every kick drum is right out of the movie Old Brother, Where Art Thou? Right. In fact, every instrument is.
They use the pomade.
Right. Yeah, on the mustache. Right.
We're the fortune tellers, and it sure is good to see you.
we're
Just a quick
we're 2 bullets in a whiskey bottle, and we're here to
Google search of
and
modern
we've
bluegrass bands.
always been doing this here.
Who's hot?
Well, a lot of these are people you've heard of, like Bela Fleck, Alison Krauss,
Sure.
Nickel Creek. Let's see, modern.
I like Nickel Creek.
So Nickel Creek, I mean, they go back.
I like the Punch Brothers.
They go back to the 90s. Going on
It's
out there.
oversaturated.
Right.
Let's try modern trendy
Oh,
bluegrass.
I know who it is.
Who?
It's a person that you told me about, Shaky Graves.
Shaky Graves.
If you haven't seen Shaky Graves,
Oh,
right?
wow.
He looks like John Stamos in the 90s, and
Kinda,
and
but
he
smaller.
He's got a guitar, and
He plays a drum on a suitcase.
He plays a drum on a suitcase.
That's another thing that's popular now, are these like one-man bands.
Yeah. So that to me is the equivalent of big hair, pointy guitar. 'cause
That's
it's
enough.
all like-
You gotta be a one man band because you ain't gonna find 3 other dudes to play that crap.
You can hear the record exec. Is his songs good? No, look at him. He's perfect. And I love the
Songs?
The top comment on YouTube on Shaky
Songs
I
Graves
was just
is,
getting ready to look that up.
Songs we don't need.
No,
songs.
No,
it's a
listen to this.
woman saying, "My ovaries are sweating," and that's all you need to know about Shaky Graves. Shaky Graves is the new Nelson Twins. And I'm done with my old man rant. Old man rant.
I've got to look this up. I got to see this comment.
It's there. My ovaries are sweating.
So did you just hear some new music
He
or
sent
see
me-
some old new music and then
This
just,
guy
it just
right
really,
here,
it
Andy
just upset
Merritt,
you?
sent me Shaky Graves. Here, listen to this.
I was like,
Oh, you like this?
at first I saw it and I was like, well, this is kind of cool, I guess.
This is more of
So-
the. See,
I can't find the
I'm
comment.
piecing all this together now because this is all coming to fruition now. This is all new,
What?
and he's got.
Well-
This goes along with these new River T-shirts, and the cargo shorts are gone.
when he
and
came to the
dad
drawer for the
stuff.
cargo shorts, there was a Shaky Graves.
I
CD.
guarantee you, Shaky Graves is playing at J.C. Penney.
Probably by now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Actually, I went down this rabbit hole in YouTube because I found this band called, I think they were called Little Hurricane.
Little Texas.
And they were actually good. And it was a guy and a girl. And then he was in the next song's playlist. And that's how I found it. And I like anything Audio Tree puts out. And Wes is like, no, that's terrible.
Well, okay, so I don't like fake. I hate fake. I hate everything's live now, but it's not live. Like it's totally recorded in Pro Tools. It's totally done perfectly, but then they film it with 12 camera angles, and you're supposed to think, oh, this is live on the radio. It's not live. It's not real. It's not.
That's one thing I learned from you and Jesse watching you record stuff is that everything in music's a lie.
It is. And that brings me to Alanis Morissette. In 1988, go look up.
She was a pop star.
She was a pop star. She was Taylor Dane. Specifically, she was Taylor Dane.
It's so weird. I just watched like
I
she was
guess-
on
and that was
Howard
the
Stern.
peak
I watched it on
of
Howard
Dave.
Stern just discussing this, and they were playing bits from the old record.
The old stuff?
Yeah.
Or before she became like a hippie.
What else was huge at that time?
She got a-
Full House. Dave Coulier was at the peak of his.
Yeah, right. And she was dating him.
It took till 1993 or 1994 before he broke her heart, and she wrote "Jagged Little Pill."
She had a songwriter.
Cut it out.
She had a songwriting partner that they got together and wrote that record.
It's the
and
guy who
everything.
wrote Man in the Mirror. Or one of
And
the guys who wrote Man in the Mirror for
and of
Michael
course
Jackson.
that when she's on Howard Stern, so of course they're finding anything they can to rip on her. And it's like, well, a lot of people say ironic that they're making fun of you because that stuff's not irony. And that just happened to be the only song on the record that she was never really sold on because it wasn't very autobiographical.
Oh, everything else was automatic. Swimming in your stomach.
Ooh, I just got what I've. Ooh.
You just got that? You're
I've
pretty
never.
slow.
Well, no,
I'm supposed to be the
no,
angelic.
I just never
I'm
listened.
supposed to be the choir boy here.
I've never listened to Alanis Morissette
And paid attention to the
Yeah.
lyrics. Yeah, me neither. My senior year of high school, that album came out, and it was everywhere.
Yeah.
I said that comment the other day in front of my wife, and she was like, I was in 5th grade. I was like, all right.
Great.
Speaking of old man yelling at cloud.
I have a. No, I originally thought this would be a nice, fun little game we could do, but then after I thought more and more, I don't know if it's going to be necessarily a game or more or less just a segment like we were just talking about. Because the reason I'm saying I don't think it's a game is because I'll very seriously doubt either one of you are going to
know any of
to
it.
know.
We're not going to know any of it.
And I don't expect you to. Andy is a little bit more obviously because he listens.
It can
to
be
all
funny to see what I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised, but this little segment's going to be called Word Vomit.
Oh, okay. I like vomit games.
So what Word Vomit is these are new sayings.
Oh, I know what they were.
Slogan, like this is new
Vernacular.
jargon.
Like whatevs?
On the TikToks and whatever.
Oh, I'm
and
on
I've got
TikTok.
these, and you guys are going to tell me if you know.
What they mean?
You have
This
one
ought to be
item.
Some
Great.
of them are made up. It's like
No,
at South by
no.
Southwest where they bring a mic and they're like, "Did you guys like Hootenanny and the Star
This
Pops?"
is all straight up like this is all legit. None of this is made up.
Is there a band called Hootenanny and the Star Pops? Because
I mean, probably by now.
probably, yeah.
There is now. They're playing with that Shaggy Wonder or whatever you guys are talking about.
Shaky Graves. That's my name. His name's like probably Todd. I bet it's Todd.
Shaky Graves in his duet with Macy Gray. Anyway, so number 1, get a bag.
That means to make money.
Does it really?
Oh man!
Okay.
So you're hip.
Wow.
No.
You play Xbox with
No.
people?
He is cool.
You're playing Xbox. With
It gets
have-
20 degrees cooler every time you come in here.
I mean, my wife's been calling me Rich Cool Andy for years.
Calling you what?
Rich Cool Andy. I'll tell you the origin of that story
I
real
prefer
quick.
Slick Rick in the Camaro, but whatever.
At the place that you and I worked when I got my first raise, I went home and I was really excited about it. And I was like, look what happened. And she was like, ooh, Rich Cool Andy. And that name has just stuck ever since then. So anything I do that she interprets as me trying to be cool or...
Mom told me the McDonald's bun thing was just a fluke, but look at me now.
Yeah, look at me go.
Everywhere I go, it's just I'm raising the roof. Everywhere. Okay, number 2. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're gonna do well at this, I can tell now. Wes, not so much. Bussin'.
Oh, you're bussing the tables.
I've heard,
Of course that's not what it means because that's exactly what you would think.
I've heard it, but I couldn't define it.
Oh, it's outputs on your digital audio workstation where you put in a bus, like all the drums to bus A.
Of course.
That's it.
Of course that's what it is.
It makes sense, guys. Kids would be making slang about their doll.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's cool. That's what's cool, sitting around your garage learning how to record properly. Bussin' is very good. And even and if it's like really, really awesome, like it's like bussin'.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the more
bus-
bussin', the better.
You
it
actually say
is.
bussin', like you say it twice?
Yeah,
So
like
it's
man,
really-
this is bussin' pizza. This dude, no, this is bussin' pizza.
Oh, bussin' pizza.
Kind of a
We need a matrix
synonym
here.
of slaps. If something slaps, it is very, very good.
I've never heard of slaps. So I need a matrix. We need to come up with a matrix for
Of
me.
what it mean, what the word is versus
Well,
how we understand it.
Go with 90s slang and then...
Slaps means rad.
Oh, okay. That's rad.
Or
And then would I say
slaps.
rad?
Or killer. Slaps is a better. It's killer. It's better. It's closer to killer.
I hope to God, at least one of these you go home and use tonight.
I'm going to use it.
And one of your daughters is just like, Dad said bussin'. Did you hear that?
That's bussin'.
That would be great.
I need word of the day toilet paper with these on.
You should use the term slaps.
Slaps?
Like you need
Okay.
to make some food and be like, this slaps, and
See,
see if they die of
15
embarrassment.
years ago, I came up with booch. I thought that was funny. You know, everything's booch. Like that's booch. Like that's cool. But also like, I smack you in the booch, right? Booch is anything.
That reminds me of Mean Girls, where they tried to make a word. Was it fetch? Or something? Quit trying to make fetch happen.
That's booch.
I guess I'm the only person that's seen Mean Girls. Okay.
I have.
Anyway,
I've
go
not
ahead.
seen Mean Girls, no.
It is a fantastic movie.
It has girls in the title.
It was written by Tina Fey.
Okay.
I'm familiar with the movie. I just don't know if I.
It has Lindsay Lohan in it.
It's
before
kind of
she
just
went
one of those
completely
movies
insane.
that's on, and you just kind of do whatever.
It's really funny.
I saw Parent Trap. That's booch. That movie was booch. Let me tell you.
Out of Pocket.
Oh, I know what this one is. That means that you are. Let me see if I can
Wes,
define it.
well, if
Now-
you know, Wes, do you have an idea?
Well, I mean, in accounting, it's out-of-pocket expenses. It's per diem.
but of course,
it's
that's
definitely
not what
not
it
that.
means anymore.
Gosh.
If you're
See that's exactly what I realized. Like going over these is so they've just taken all these old things. Like, no, it's not what it means anymore.
out of pocket, means that you're being disrespectful. You're not like staying
right?
in your
Dude,
lane.
he is so freaking cool.
So
Like,
what are you?
You are.
How? Where
Mr.
is your?
Rich Cool Andy?
What-
You are Rich Cool Andy.
Where are you getting all of this? That's what I want to know.
I have
The
a
definition I have, just to tell that I'm not messing around here. The definition that I have on here is an out of control statement or like disorderly.
yeah.
like,
You're talking out of the side of your neck.
Yeah, you're disrespectful.
So that is because in the evenings I have a lot of free time and I like TikTok.
the only dad here with a lot of free time. Wow.
I just immediately.
Here we are, episode 4, and when is this baby coming?
Well,
you
now
better,
May
you
the
better soak
7th.
all this up while you can. 'Cause
Yeah, right.
I have headphones and I can put her beside me. And
I just pictured him like sitting around on the couch with like his phone and a notebook. I mean, let's see, out of pocket. Let's see, okay.
Okay.
I was watching TikTok when you guys came and knocked on my window. It is the creators of TikTok really should be commended for making the ultimate in time wasting apps.
Oh.
It's all the best parts of Facebook and YouTube and Twitter.
People comment on things on TikTok?
It constantly feeds you videos based on the things that you like. So it is excellent at figuring out what you like, and it sends you videos. And they range from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Now they've let people do 10-minute videos. Any topic that I like, I constantly get people that create videos from that. And if I want to waste 10 minutes and I don't want to watch television,
Right now, I figure I'm going to get into Vines because it's about 10 years old, 8 years old.
I think you'd have to go to YouTube to find Vines because it's not there anymore.
I've been getting into to Vines.
They were that was the original TikTok.
Well,
I've been sharing on Napster.
I'm just a step behind. I put it on my AOL profile that I love Vines now. So
I will agree with you, though. I will agree with you that it is a complete waste of time.
I bet your wife spends a lot of time just
On TikTok?
mindlessly watching videos.
Don't talk about my wife like that. She does. She does.
I send her stuff occasionally.
She enjoys
I
it.
know you don't, so if there's anything I want you to see, I will send it to her in a direct
and
message.
she will show you.
Yeah.
Here, Joshy.
I've done that
this-
before.
This is good, Joshy.
Thirst trap.
Oh, that was easy. I'll say if
Does this have something to do with Mountain Dew?
No.
So we can keep doing this segment, but you're just out. I just want to hear what Wes
What is it
thinks
called?
on-
Thirst?
Thirst trap.
it is
Thirst trap.
basically how TikTok initially got attention, but I'll let you.
Thirst trap
Yeah.
is how TikTok got attention.
Yes.
I'm thirsty for content.
No.
No? Okay.
What are men thirsty for? Typically.
Money.
That paper.
Keep going.
Mo money.
What are men thirsty for on the internet?
Republicans.
Yes. Good clean vines is what I typically look at. on the
Definitely
internet.
that.
So
Yeah.
okay, so thirst. What's it called again?
Thirst
the,
trap.
The fastest way you can donate money to your church. That's what
Yes.
Yes, they have apps now that you can just.
Venmo and Cash
in
App.
the app.
Andy, tell us what a thirst trap is.
So a thirst trap is a girl that does nothing except make videos showing different skills that she may have, and that is her content because she knows it'll get her a lot of likes, a lot of shares, a lot of attention that I guess her dad
It's
didn't give
good.
her.
I'm sure it's great attention. I'm sure it's great.
I mean,
fills the void.
You can
Fills the
make
void.
money. You can make money off of TikTok.
It's gonna go home. It's gonna go home and open the door. You better not thirst trapping in here. Trapping.
So that is
would
initially
not-
before there were actual
not be Booch.
before there were actual content creators on TikTok. That is what drove people to the app.
Gotcha. Okay.
53X.
I don't know what that is.
Really?
Just for the record, I've never seen anything on TikTok.
I resisted it for a long
The
time.
only thing I've seen on TikTok
Is what Andy's shown your wife.
or my wife. Yeah. Exactly. My son brings them in too.
Listen, Dad, on the TikTok here.
What do you like?
guitars.
Do people play guitars on TikTok?
Tons. I sent you guys one yesterday.
Oh, I didn't. There was a link in something you
Yeah.
sent. I
It's
thought
amazing how he does that. That's like 4 times today. He's like, I didn't see that, and we all 3 have been in like the same thing. But he'll
So
also
here's the problem.
send numerous
You
things
guys,
throughout the day.
if you guys will send me 0 gifs, then I'll be good. Everything's a GIF with somebody looking at cross-eyed or something, and I just delete those right away because all they do is just flip and just drive me nuts. So I look at it and go, oh, that's funny, and I delete it. So I think there's probably some links in there. There's probably some TikTok stuff in there that
I don't
just
delete anything you guys send me.
I delete every GIF.
Well, I guess
Everything that moves.
we'll take that to our private conversation, Josh. Here's another.
Can you believe what Wes is saying? I'm going to send you Eddie Murphy smiling real big.
If there's ever been an example of old man yelling at cloud, it's that.
Yeah.
Don't show me too many gifts, Cloud.
I'll stop.
I got plenty of
I'll
gifts.
stop sending gifts, and you just stop sending what every pawn shop in the tri-state area has.
You guys don't want to know. Did you not just buy something off of me that I bought at a pawn shop
I don't know
this
what
week?
you're talking about. 53X.
53X. There's a phone system called 3X. It's a
There
VoIP.
is.
Of course, that's what
You
it
can
is.
install it on a local PC.
Is it a time signature?
53X is for the TikTokers because apparently they can't say sex.
Oh, they say
Oh.
53X. Oh,
That makes
it
sense.
spells. I should have tried to see what that word spelled. 53X. Okay, they just
So
say.
you can't say. There was
You can, but
There was another one the wife told me about. They can't say suicide.
You can
So
say-
they say sewer slide.
So that's not it. You can say it. It's that when you're
Doesn't get flagged or whatever.
when you're doing your video, it tries to translate what you're saying into words that the viewer sees at the bottom, like subtitles. And if those words are in that, then the app will flag the video.
Right.
So you can edit what is being displayed at the bottom, and so they put stuff like that in it.
So these are cunning tricks.
Yes, I guess.
Gotcha.
It's really important to get those words out there. You can't really have.
Well, these
art.
are these are all
Can't have
these
art.
are all brilliant.
Yeah.
Clapback.
Oh, I know what this is.
I don't even want to
Wes?
say what I think
It's not
that
dirty.
is. It's not dirty.
And in fact, Josh is very good at the clapback.
Okay, so just explain it to me.
It's as you would imagine. It's
I say something. I say something to Josh.
twerking my butt.
He has a witty response.
Oh, that's it. That's a clapback.
It's a verbal retaliation.
Yes.
To criticism.
Like if I say your hair's stupid, he's like,
It's not.
that's a clapback.
So is a clapback? Does it represent the quality? Does it represent the quality of the return statement?
It's more about the aggression.
Oh,
Just
I'm just trying to figure this out. I
like
want to say
retaliate.
it right.
You're retaliating in general.
Because this week I'm going to look really dumb if I say clapback and it's not.
I'll
appropriate.
give you the list to take home with you.
Okay.
So you
But-
can study.
but
You don't
I need-
say clapback. Your actions are the clapback.
So I never say clapback unless somebody says something back to me and I'm like, that was a
Dad-
really booch clapback.
Dad,
Yeah.
this sucks. Clap back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you hear your kids doing it, you can be like, that clapback slapped.
My son gave me this one
Okay.
because I was asking for help. On God.
Oh, I know what this one is
On
too.
God?
On God.
I don't like this. What is
It's
No, this
wholesome.
This is closer to what you would maybe imagine.
So I'm going to adopt this.
If you say on
you
God, you're
probably,
saying
you probably wouldn't.
No.
if you say on God, that means what I'm saying is really, really the truth.
Oh, it's right
Swear
on,
to God.
It's right on the money.
Yes.
It's swear to God,
That's
basically.
link it to 80s, 90s slang.
Saying
No cap.
for real, very seriously, no cap, very.
Is there a
Wait, is it like True Dat Homie? Because I say True Dat Homie pretty much every other day.
Wow. Yeah.
that
that.
was very that felt real.
You see how many years behind I am.
For-
That's where I live. 7 years behind everything else.
Ooh, true that homie.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Chuji.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
What?
No. Say
Chuji.
Chuji?
I don't know what that is.
Spell it for me.
Using a sentence.
I just did it again. Now you brought it up, I'm not gonna be able to stop. Cheugy.
Chuji?
Chuji.
Never heard of that one.
Uncool.
I can.
Is that really what it means?
Yeah, that's that's
That's
what I have
Chuji.
here in my ledger.
Now, see, I would say jank because that's It's 9 years old.
I think that word's stupid. I don't like that one.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm 9 years behind. Maybe 8, if I'm lucky.
Yeet.
Yeet? That's the one you made up.
It's not a made-up word.
I've not made up any of this.
Yeet. What's yeet mean?
I don't know. I don't know that I could define it, but I could use it in a sentence. Like
I
if
have,
I yeet
I have
you
to
out,
throw something.
if I yeet you out the window, I have
There you go.
thrown you out the window.
Wow.
Toss something.
I think it's more the act of throwing it.
Yeah.
Throwing. You got to throw it.
Yeah.
Okay. I have already.
You really should. I think you could adopt this one because
yeet?
like when you're angry, you yeet the trash can across the office with your foot. Or
I have thrown things.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, because I have younger nephews, whatnot around the house sometimes, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when you do yeet something, you proclaim yeet.
Oh, you act.
Like
this
you
is,
throw
you
it and yeet. I think. Is that correct?
I've never heard it used that way, but that doesn't mean you can't.
Beat. And this is not the one. I thought I knew what this meant, but apparently it's changed again.
I don't know what that means. I've never heard that one.
Beat?
Like BEET?
BEAT.
Like I'm beat. I'm tired. I've been bussing all day.
It's what I do to somebody that claps back at me.
All of the trash I had to yeet, and now I'm beat from bussing all that yeet out the back of the restaurant.
The wife gave me this one. It's to apply makeup.
Wait,
What?
The French call that farting with a D, so that's
To
funny.
apply makeup, and and if someone looks beat, they applied makeup well or used it a lot, like a lot of
Oh,
makeup.
kind of like how bad means good
Bad means good. That's bad.
for us to understand it.
That's bad. Doom, 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 doom.
Was that the last one?
There you go. That's what I have.
I like that. I like that. That was a good.
Did you? I don't think you learned a lot. I think Wes learned.
I knew most of these.
Yeah.
Which
You should host this next time.
it kind of makes me feel bad because I shouldn't know these things.
Yeah, you should be. You should be embarrassed.
Well, it makes sense because you just said I don't have a kid and I have tons of free time, and I love that we're chronicling the flip of this.
I just don't.
I sent you a video yesterday of Bluey because in a couple of years you're going to be like, that Bluey is so funny because you can't watch anything else.
That's the part about having a kid I'm dreading is I don't want to watch Disney all the time.
Let me tell you something, and I'm going to take a break in the middle of this pod. I don't even care.
You've got some rhythm.
This is me and my 3 daughters.
Who's playing the guitar?
Me.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. Who's doing drums?
My oldest daughter is playing.
Is that who you made the kit for? Was your oldest daughter?
Yes. She wanted to play snare drum at school, which she does, and she plays cymbals, and she plays like timpani, and like they call it the keyboard. It looks like a xylophone, but they call it keyboard. And she plays all that stuff really well. And she was like, I think I might want to play a drum kit. And I was like,
I remember the work you put in on that drum kit.
I will build you the best drum kit I can for $600.
Really, though, the best thing about that is thank God for that, because I was just having this conversation at work with somebody the other day. Like, YouTube, especially, but a lot of the different TikTok too, and the online stuff, like, really sucked out what rock and roll and what being in a band, like it
revealed the secrets.
No,
Oh.
it just made it just not
Lame.
necessary or
Lame.
not cool. It's like, kid gets a guitar now, and he's like, I'm going to learn the song, I'm going to write the song, I'm going to play really, really well. I'm going to make a video of myself, and I'm going to post it
And you're done.
online,
That's
and
it.
people are going to tell me I'm really great.
Yeah.
Not one time do they ever think, I'm going to call these other guys I know that this guy has this and this guy has this, and we're going to get together in a room.
So technology-
And we're going to create something. Because I still remember exactly the first song I played in a room with two other
Tell me.
dudes. Like,
Tell me.
I was at Doug Woodard's house in Ona, and we played "Going to Passaliqua" by Green Day. It's the first time I was in a room.
You and Doug and who?
Chris Arball.
Okay.
First time we were in a room together, and we all played the same song.
And you're
All
like,
at the
this
same time,
noise,
it was
we're
loose.
making this.
We all played the same thing at the same time, and it made a thing. Like,
totally
we
understand.
together, collectively, made something.
I will agree that there is a magic involved in that because I've experienced that with you guys. But I don't think what you're saying is necessarily a bad thing. And the reason why is because I'm glad that technology has progressed to the point to where if you want to write music and you want to be in a band and you want to create, the thing that shouldn't limit you is your social circle. So I don't think it's a terrible thing that you can go into your room with something like what you have and a guitar and a sequencer or whatever you would use
and make an album.
And you can make an album yourself. Like, I think that's a good thing.
But that's like
it's
Pro
all
Tools, though.
preference.
Yeah, that's good. It's good if you've got to, but it doesn't. It shouldn't take the place of.
It's not the same. It's a supplement. It's not a replacement.
It can do it, but it's like you said. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
I'm sorry, but it's not as good.
Yeah, it's like what is a kid, 13 years old? I got a guitar. My grandma got me this piece of software that I could make drums and bass on, and I played it. What does it feel? I guess 50 people liked it, 1,000 people liked it. That's the feeling.
Yeah. It's
I don't know. It's all preference. I mean, I'm not trying to dog it or anything, but
you can still create without having to put it on YouTube. I think those things are separate.
I agree with you. I think that to
But
me,
people don't anymore.
'Cause there's
like,
a
that's
ton
the
of
whole
people that-
purpose of creating now are these, the new kids coming up are like, I'm going to create and I'm going to post it online.
We didn't know that was a thing when we were doing it, and I bet had we grown up with that kind of technology, we'd have been like, put a camera in the corner and we can capture ourselves practicing.
I will say that that's one of the things as I get older, very upset that I don't have pictures,
Oh, me
video,
too.
even just a tape cassette. Like I have
I never thought
little.
to capture that.
Yeah, and I mean all that stuff was right around.
And you did more so than any of us.
Yeah, but I don't have anything. Like I have all these memories of things, but I can't look at it, play it, listen to it. That's something that I regret. Which now it's like flipped the other way. I mean, you don't do anything without having a video.
I was thinking about that.
Someone always has a phone out.
I still don't think that's still not intuitive to me. Like, I take pictures sometimes, but I don't immediately think this is something I should capture.
I spend time looking at something and I reach for my phone and I catch myself and I say, I want to just enjoy it. That's what I do.
I always notice that I'm the only person in the room
doesn't have
not doing it. Yeah. And it kind of like, that just is what it is. I don't ever think of it. Especially when it comes to like live performances and stuff like that. Like if you go and I can't say the last time I really went, but if you go see
saw Doug's band
live
play,
show.
You went to Tom Petty.
Yeah,
That was a little bit different.
Thank God people do that, because I can go on YouTube and search live whatever 2020 and somebody's got a camera phone that has recorded the band I want to see.
But that guy standing there
Missed out.
going like this, recording that whole thing, he's not watching the show.
That is not
He's
my
not
problem.
Feeling that.
Andy rules.
I do not care that he missed that experience. I'm glad that I got it.
So Andy's at the show with somebody else. And he's like, "What are you doing? Record this."
Yeah.
Well, you record it. No,
No,
I'm watching.
watching.
Enjoy it. You record it so I can watch it later. I've done that for you guys. I filmed Def Leppard in 2016, so I could share it with you.
I just think there are some moments that you should just. And I get it, like especially when it comes to like your kids and stuff like that. You always want to be able to go back and look and have but there are I have like noticeably like been really truly enjoying a moment like with the kids or whatever, and I'm like I'm like focusing on this right now. Like I don't necessarily want a picture. Like I just
Yeah.
I'm
On the opposite-
consciously thinking
I do.
about
That's
this
my
right now.
challenge. That's my challenge to myself, and I very often do it.
What I'll say, though, on the opposite side of that is me getting my phone out to take a picture forces me to be more present in what's happening, and just taking the picture, even though it doesn't capture it exactly, it helps me to remember that it happened.
He's still on drugs.
I mean, my memory does suck still. I'm definitely not on drugs, but... Which brings me to something I was thinking about yesterday. I was going to talk about this. So I got to do a dad thing yesterday, and I started working on my daughter's nursery. And I spent a lot of time by myself.
How's your back on that?
It hurts, and I'm sorry I smell like icy hot, but I have a patch on. I'm really sore. But while I was in there, I
You
thought...
rub that on your chest before you went to bed last night.
No, that's Vicks Vapor. It does smell similar. One thing I've learned is by the time you reach the age that all of us are, you are firmly entrenched in who you are. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of times, I don't know if you do this, Josh, but if I have a thing that I don't really want to do, I'll think, how would Wes handle this? And I would think, well, if this is something he has to do to get his nursery ready for his daughter, he would go in there and just kill it and knock it out. And I thought for a long time that I was like that because of I was always on something, and that just screwed up my motivation and want to.
You're slowly realizing you're just lazy.
I'm just like that. I'm just like that.
Honey, guess what? It wasn't the dope. I still don't want to do it.
I'm lazy deep down.
Deep down, I don't like.
Call the doctor. Tell him he's a moron.
I thought that yesterday. I was like, because when I was texting
This
you
still
guys,
sucks. You want to get high?
no, there's none of that.
This is very entertaining information you've come up with about yourself.
It's true, because even when I was texting you guys complaining about it, what do you respond with? Something that you were working on that you painted yourself for fun.
Oh, that's cute.
I don't know if this is going to make you feel better or not. I did send you that dresser.
That's what I'm talking about.
I bought that probably about 1 year ago. It's been sitting in the garage, and I started painting it. I'm not exaggerating, in August.
But you still bought it and thought, I'm going to spend my free time fixing that. And I would never think to do that.
I'm going to say something.
I'm not meant to work with my hands.
I'm going to say something again that I brought this up a couple weeks ago, and it was not. You thought I was just trying to blow smoke up your butt or what have you. I just honestly think a lot of times that a lot of people, most people, think exactly like you. You just have no problem flat out saying it. Because when I bought my house, it's it's kind of a big deal. First time you buy a house, and everybody's like, oh, this day we closed on it. One of the first things in my mind was like, whatever breaks in here, I have to fix. There's no landlord.
You know what I've been thinking lately? It's March and my grass is getting longer.
I'm
getting
ready to say something about grass.
I've never had an issue with that.
You have never cut my yard.
I won't rake.
I have to cut grass and weed eat. And I was telling my wife yesterday, I was like, this is all kind of coming to a head. I was like, I can't do baby and grass. We're hiring.
Honey, guess what? You're cutting the grass.
No, that'll never happen. I was like, we got to find a neighborhood kid because.
Oh yeah, for them to fall on your land, hurt themselves on the lawn.
How much money you got? I'm a neighborhood kid.
And sue you.
I will give you $30 a week to cut my grass.
No.
Whoa, somebody will probably cut it for.
I mean,
you're
it
gonna
really
have to do a little better than that, boss. This is the '90s.
It only takes like an hour and a half.
An hour and a half for $30?
You're gonna have to do about $50 on that at least.
I'm saying,
You know what?
It's not
$70.
uphill or anything.
I'll bring Lane.
And he'll stand there
And
and
we
go,
can sit there. And we can sit there and
he
drink
will
lemonade.
while you mow the grass.
No. Lane can mow the grass, and we can sit there and straight up haze him.
And I'll give
the whole time.
I'll have a CD with The Cure on it, and we can let him listen to it while
He doesn't like the Cure.
He's at the
brooding teenage age.
Yeah, he's angry and kind of just at ends with the world, but no, he's not a.
Does his hair come like right here on one side, right down in front of the
age
eyes?
that you would probably start getting into Morrissey and The Cure and hating everything.
But he likes very upsetting modern. He likes very upsetting modern like stuff that I can't.
Is there a modern equivalent to being
The Cure?
goth? Do we know what that is?
Sure it exists.
Yeah, a guy has a banjo and skinny suspenders.
There's no way you can hate the world and like that kind of music.
Play him the Nelson Twins.
We want to bring him back from the other side, not force him further into it.
My parents just do not understand anything. I can't live without your love and affection. That's not the soundtrack to that. It's not. Nelson is not the soundtrack of angst.
That is the sound I think I would hear in hell.
Nelson?
Just on repeat.
What was, when you were at that age, you just hated the world and mom and dad are morons.
What was that music for me?
What were your jams?
Oh.
Parents just don't understand? I don't know.
You know something? I spun that not 2 weeks ago for my kids, just so they could understand what Will Smith is and where he's from. They didn't just
They didn't know that was him?
Yeah, they just thought like, well, he's an actor, and I'm like, no, I mean he acts too.
Did you play Nightmare on My Street?
He's a terrible rapper first, and then he gets shows.
Do you remember Nightmare on My Street?
No, I don't remember.
He had a song
I remember that.
where Freddie, he was dealing with Freddy Krueger.
Are you serious?
That album was.
Thought there was a nightmare on my street.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I've never heard.
Freddie's like in the song, like he's going back and forth with Freddie, and Freddie's like, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna bust that. later.
Are your kids aware of the Fresh Prince? Or do you let them watch that?
No, listen.
He edits it.
I don't edit Fresh Prince at all.
He skipped school in this episode. You girls aren't watching it.
The only show I've ever edited for them is Stranger Things, because I really like the series.
You don't want to miss out watching it, and you'd like to share that
No,
experience.
I
with them.
watched it without them, and I enjoyed it, and I knew they would really like it. So I took a massive amount of time. Not you didn't watch it, but you got to pay attention and edit the stuff out.
And now they have no idea how to evade a monster. So way to go.
They totally know all that stuff. They know all about the series. They love the series. They have never seen any of the adult content in it.
I think it's overrated.
So, are they aware of the Fresh Prince? Do they know that's a thing?
Well, I mean, 2 weeks ago I played it for them, and the whole time it was like, can we stop? Can
They
you
just
stop?
weren't into it.
No. Oh gosh. Oh no. I thought you meant parents don't understand.
Oh no.
No. They want. So the other day I sent you. This dovetails. The other day I sent you guys a link to a Starship song.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a great song.
And it's the worst song ever.
You're so idiot.
For them to go from what they were in the '60s to that crap
is
yes.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
I
cocaine.
would love to have had. We were just talking about having a video camera out at all times. I would love to have had a video camera pointed at my daughter sitting behind me in her booster seat while I was playing that song. It never stopped. Dad, can you turn this? Dad, can you turn this off? When can you turn this off? I go, I'll turn it off in a minute. And she was like, can you turn it off now?
She had a panic attack.
Oh, she just never let up.
We found out she had asthma.
Is it just '80s music in general, or does she just hate that band?
That song elicited such a reaction. I would love to have done a reaction video for YouTube.
I would love for that to be a
She like
series. What
visibly
Yes,
distressed.
she was distressed.
What songs upset my daughter?
Star?
I might steal that idea.
Star. She's in the little carrier chair going.
I remember trying to. I was coming home one day and I was trying to bond with Lane. Mm-hmm. I try to every once in a while. I kind of catch myself, like I'll be like, I don't know how to. And
Before you go, what is he like with him being the way he is? Like, what does he think about like the way you look? As far as is that bonding to him? Like,
What is wrong with the way he looks?
not the
I don't
way,
see
not,
it, Andy.
not that there is something wrong with it. It's the fact
what do you
that
what do you got on your mind there, pal?
I mean, you have tattoos, you wear rock and roll T-shirts.
So does his mom. His mom's.
He went to rock and roll high school. Why
What-
would he not wear rock and roll T-shirts?
The point I'm trying to make is it's not like that Kristen married some stuffy, uppity guy he can't relate to.
I think he's always
Somebody
been
rich
a-
and cool.
I think
is,
he's always.
I think who you're
I think
describing.
He's always been around that. I think Kristen. I mean,
so. It's not a thing to him.
no.
Okay.
I don't think he notices that.
It's like the smell of icy hot. It just you get used to it. It's there all the time.
I didn't know if that was a thing that would help you relate to him or him relate to you, or if he was like, I don't get why you guys look like this, or
No, I just think it's always been.
It's just normal.
Yeah, I think it's normal to him. But
okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But surprisingly, I think you would be surprised on how I'm kind of, especially with Lane, because he's at that age where like I know where Lane's at.
You remember
And
being that way.
We also have a very similar kind of situation coming up with I had step parents, whatever. Like I get a lot of the stuff he's going through right now at this exact age.
So every day
that,
you tell
that
him
he doesn't realize that I get.
you don't know angst.
I
know angst.
You throw
But
Dookie into his
surprisingly-
room and lock the door. Here, buddy, deal with it.
Surprisingly, that stuff's so not cool to them whatsoever.
Green Day?
He hates Green Day.
Me too.
Yeah, I always did.
You guys are morons. But no, I think you both would be surprised how with him, because and I don't enjoy doing it. I actually hate it. But a lot of times with him, knowing his age, knowing the stuff he's going through and the situations he's put in, I'm kind of strict sometimes. Not strict, but I'm kind of very much like, okay, I got to put dad pants on now. Like, no, dude, like, look, you can't do, like, let me explain to you why. But, I'm very,
Is that helpful? Does he respond well to it?
No, of course not.
Exactly.
But that being said, I do catch myself sometimes. I'm trying to be like, okay, well, I've got to be this, but at the same time, I'm going to kind of get on his level and show him that I'm not just,
for no reason.
Right. Yeah,
For
like
no
there's a
reason.
reason for it. And
There's
I'm
a
very,
reason that I'm terrible.
And I do make a conscious effort a lot of times to be like, look, I know you're mad at me right now. I know you think me and your mom don't know anything. Like, I'm very, open and on Front Street with all that stuff. Being like, I know this pisses you off. I know right now you're mad. Hopefully you're going to think about it and realize, blah, 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 blah.
You know what they call that?
Out of pocket.
You're validating how he feels.
Sure. But that being said, sometimes I'll catch myself being like, okay, I'm going to lay something down on him now that I probably shouldn't. Like, to let him know that I am cool. And like one day we're driving down the road and I'm like, it's like, hey, let me play you something that when I was around your age or probably younger I heard, and I just thought it was awesome that you're not supposed to hear. So this is just between, I have a lot of this is just between us sorts of conversations with him. So I play him Get in the Ring by Guns N' Roses. And I'm like, you're not supposed to hear this. This is bad. Like, this is, the gruffest language you've ever heard. So nothing to him.
I mean, you said he played Xbox Online.
Right, exactly. But I don't think of that stuff. I'm doing like I'm leaning on. I'm like,
you think about
I'm
what was
blow
that
his mind right now.
Yeah.
Like, because when I was a kid, I remember hearing that stuff for the first time and being like, oh my God. Like,
I'm not supposed to listen to this.
yeah, and that's why it was so.
And at
that's
the
why
end,
you
he's
loved
like,
it.
He's like, so,
It was like a
so when
hidden
is the
thing.
part that I'm not supposed to hear? Did
It's
that
like,
already
yeah,
happen?
This is cool, I guess. Yeah.
Why is this
Whatever.
old man screaming?
Can you turn it off? he had the same look on his face as Wes's daughter.
No.
Turn this off now. But
What's
yeah.
a starship?
I will say, if you had step parents, I don't know how your relationship with yours was, but I can remember with mine, just the fact that you're, and he may not even be aware of this, but just the fact that you're trying and taking an interest in his life, maybe when he gets older, he'll look back and realize how important that was, because that was the biggest complaint I had with my stepdad is he just didn't even try. I mean, he had no interest in being a dad to me.
Right.
I was just somebody that ate food in his house and woke him up at 4 a.m. when I came home. So, I mean, the fact that you're trying to not only be a dad to him, but relate to him and validate how he feels, like, you may not see any immediate benefit from that, but it does have an effect.
Your stepdad probably should have made you mow more grass. I think that would have been a big thing for you now. Had you?
If I'd have just gotten to mowing grass
Yes,
then, I wouldn't
yes.
hate it so much now.
Last
Probably.
summer, dude. Last summer, I was so like, dude, you are 13 now, and I'm done. I'm not
I'm not
mowing the
mowing
grass. I'm done. Welcome to it. Here you go. He has never mowed the grass.
Yeah, because how are you going to make him?
Hey.
You can't.
Yeah. And and I always like, and I'm stupid. Most of that's my fault too, because I just, it's just, he didn't do it right then. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it. Just fine. You sitting there. And
He's like, all right, cool.
All right, man.
This don't bother me one bit.
Put that Guns N'
If you-
Roses in your
if
ears
you-
and mine.
If you need me, I'll be outside doing your job. Thanks.
Yeah.
Take this Guns N' Roses CD with you.
Go ahead and take the trash out while you're doing it. Got a match tonight.
My dad used to look at me with his hands out like, and I'd be like, what? He'd go, you just walked in. Did you not see how bad that grass looks? And I'm like,
I don't care.
no, I didn't notice how bad. If you want me to mow the grass, tell me. But I'm not going to notice that it's bad. I don't really give a rip.
You want to hear my favorite grass story of all time? And this doesn't involve me and you smoking grass. My favorite story I ever heard about mowing the grass was Mr. Doug Woodard, which was here last week. And the grass was getting out of hand. And his dad kept telling him to mow the grass, just wasn't doing it. So finally his dad just gets to the point where he's super angry. And he's like, look, I'm going to be home today by 3 o'clock. And by the time I get back, I better see your name all over that yard.
Oh, God, don't tell me.
He came home, and the whole front lawn, enormous, says Doug.
He mowed the word Doug.
Wrote his name in the grass. Oh,
I mean, how mad can you get at
genius.
that?
And now,
Yeah.
and now Jesco knows how to spell that.
You don't get much better than that.
And he
See,
really
I
went-
would, and here's the thing, I will say, I'm firm but fair. If I made that mistake and that kid mowed his name,
I would congratulate him.
well
Well
played,
done.
son.
Well played.
Well
Yes.
played.
Now
Because he
go
does
mow.
a lot of times. Like he'll say something sometimes like that's just so like, what did you say? And it's very inappropriate but funny. And he's always like, something Josh would say, right? Like he's very like,
Very aware. Josh is allowed to say that, so.
Yeah. I'm so proud of him.
That's funny.
I mean, that means that he values you in some way.
I hope so.
No, that's his get out of jail free card. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean you value it. I'm going to use this to my advantage.
I don't know. I mean, Kristen also has the ability to be pretty, the two of you could, it's probably a very snarky household.
That boy can do no wrong in her eyes.
Well,
Ever.
I'm saying her ability to, she's had to keep up with you for 20 years. I mean, I'm sure her ability
Oh,
to,
you're talking about just the level
the
of
verbal
sarcasm.
stuff. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I'm pretty mild
He's
mannered.
saying not Mother Teresa. He's saying
I'm pretty mild mannered. I'd say.
like your wife.
She does not like sarcasm.
Your wife?
Hmm.
Same here. I think we've got
We married a similar
yeah,
type of girl.
We really did. Yeah.
She doesn't understand.
So she hated me. Like when you guys come over to the house, she was
No, she hates sarcasm when it is intentionally trying to be mean.
not directed at her.
No, not even that. Like she doesn't really like stand-up comedy. She doesn't like snarky comments. Like most of the things that I find hilarious, she just thinks are mean.
I don't make fun of anyone I don't like.
I don't think
If
that.
I don't like you, I'll just. when we're sitting around and they're not there.
Sounds like a
But
great
no, like
rule.
if I'm hanging out with someone and I'm like, yeah, well, you're a jackass.
Oh yeah.
I would never do that to someone. I just wouldn't talk to you.
It's a way of showing affection.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what guys do. Rip on each other.
And that's another thing I don't think that probably my wife and your wife can wrap their head around because girls don't do that to each other.
Well, if they do, they
It's mean.
hate you.
Yeah.
They don't want anything to do with you, and you don't want anything to do with them, and so it's very confusing.
Yeah, there's not good-natured ribbing, so to speak.
Yeah, you can't say to our wives, "Great job there, big ears." You can't. whatever the comment is.
Were big.
Yeah, right.
Are they big?
Right.
It would develop a lifelong complex.
Yeah.
I've told her some of the conversations I've had at work with Jesse and with you over the years, and she's like, "Why do you talk about that with people?" And then I try to think of a conversation like her and her friends in a similar conversation where she comes back out of the bathroom and is like, "Whoo, do not go in there."
Doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't faze my wife at all anymore. Like it really doesn't. Like she's so.
Yeah, she'd have to move the fence.
So
Whatever her
this-
bar was before you came into the picture, it's like,
The sarcasm and everything, though, like it doesn't even it's not even funny to her anymore.
Doesn't
Just 'cause
register?
it's- I mean, it's just because
One of the favorite things that I like to do with my wife is find a TV show to watch.
Sorry.
And I know how that kind of.
Now you said one of my favorite things to do with my wife, and he just got like the dumbest look on his face.
is to watch a TV show and then, I guess, kind of make fun of it the whole time. Like,
Mystery Science Theater.
yeah, kind of. But my favorite program to do that with is the local news.
oh,
It is comedy gold.
right here. And my wife
Cannot tell you the last time I watched
hates
the news.
that.
She initially
does
hated that,
not
but
like that.
I've won her over.
And when I'm together, especially with my older daughters, my wife is just kind of in hell because
Are they doing it now?
anything we're watching, they're like, they look at me and they're like, oh, and we make fun of it, and she's like, just don't watch it. Just
Nice
turn it
job
off.
buttoning your shirt, right, Dad?
I'm just envisioning them like sweating, trying to hold the laughter in, waiting for his response.
Too many jokes.
It's like Beavis and Butthead in sex ed class.
That's exactly it.
I cannot tell you the last time I actually watched a local.
I watch it every day.
Yeah, I have an app on my TV, WSAZ, and you go to it, and I don't know, some of the, God bless them. I mean,
Even the newscasters themselves, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, you woke up and looked in the mirror and decided to wear that on television. And she's like, why are you so harsh with them? I'm like, I'm not on TV. If I was on TV,
He should have a shirt with a mountain on it.
I would, yeah.
I absolutely love mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Local news mistakes. That's
Absolutely.
my favorite thing. When they're like looking down and it comes like, oh.
When that poor girl got hit by a car,
I watched
did
that.
see that.
And, you know,
And she's immediately, her response is, this isn't the first time this has happened.
and I love the Tim Ear memes that came from that. Did you guys see any
I
of
never
those?
saw any.
He didn't know it was
He
happening.
couldn't see it. He could hear her through the IFV or whatever, but he couldn't see the visual.
But he's got this blank look on his face, and there was a ton of, I wish that I could react to anything like Tim Ear reacts to one of his newscasters getting hit with a car. It was something to that effect.
And in the studio, they could not tell what.
Yeah, he had
only the
no-
producer had like her
Right.
video.
He had no idea. But could you imagine, you're sitting there on the news, and they go by themselves. They just take a camera and stand in front of it and do their little segment, and you get hit by a car. Like, that just blows my mind.
It was everywhere, and
And it
you
was
know,
her last day.
Yeah, it was her last week
Or week or
It was her
something.
last week, and you know, I made the comment immediately.
She's like Danny Glover in every Lethal Weapon movie.
I'm too old. I've been here too long. And you know,
Before retirement, I got hit by a car. Damn it, Rick.
he was 42 when he filmed that movie, and
All I wanted to do was use the toilet.
and my initial comment to that, when she got hit, was like, that's the most exciting thing. No offense to her, but you know, in terms of every report is like,
Whatever
nobody
story-
listening can see me. It's like, hi, I'm
Whatever
here.
story she was reporting.
I'm here
this
at
was
some
way
stupid
better.
redneck event here at 10.
This just in. I just got hit by a freaking car.
Before that, it was all pretty boring until she got hit by a car.
My favorite thing that they do is when there is a storm, like a big snowstorm, for example. They'll put 8 reporters in every nook and cranny in this area. And then, that's not the funny part. I mean, it is. It's like, we're going to cut to What's-Her-Nuts, and she's live in Taze Valley. Yep, it's still snowing here.
But one is always in the worst elements possible.
But my favorite thing is the fact that the producer or whatever captures that and edits it in such a way that for weeks they do these promos where they're like, look how good we are in severe weather. We have captured the best response to the 6 inches of snow we got around here. We are your #1 severe weather news team.
It's funny because they
Yep,
know.
that's right. You've heard it here first. It did snow last night.
Don't look out your windows. Look at this television set. We're going to tell you all
There's
about
one
it.
they're playing now where they're replaying this broadcast from like Route 60 in between the mall and Barbersville, and there's literally like a half an inch of water on the road, and they keep replaying it like this was groundbreaking coverage. We told you first that you should not drive through this water.
I can't
Well,
wait
one
till
of
they
them-
do a story on this podcast and how great it's going to be.
I don't wait till one of them does a story on when they're going to be done with the construction over there. Do that story.
What?
I'd be interested in that.
The answer
this
is
just
never.
this just in. Next year we might still be doing construction over here.
Have you
by the
driven
mall.
through that?
I hate it. I hate it.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
my least favorite place to go.
The construction on 64 between Barbersville and the mall, where they're expanding it to 3 lanes.
Oh yeah, it's great.
When I was living in Taze Valley last year and would have to drive down through there, they like as soon as you get near the mall, they have this huge concrete divider that separates
Right.
the lane.
I always use the exit before I
There's-
typically get to that. And I tried to drive to Charleston this week, and I had to get actually got stuck in it, found a place to turn around illegally and go back and get off another exit and take 25 into Charleston because
I'm not
a waiting in line kind of guy.
That is another topic we have to discuss later, is what it's like to ride in a car with Wes.
We'll just do it live.
Yeah,
We'll somehow
I mean,
remotely we'll get this.
I'll drive while we do the podcast.
Exactly.
Get out of the way.
And we'll go to Boone County.
Oh no.
Like if you're ever driving and you see a guy do a U-turn to where he is stopping traffic because he has to turn around, and you're like, what is that guy's problem?
That's an
Wes.
exaggeration.
I was in a car with you one time. We were leaving work. We were trying to get to Wendy's. Somehow we missed the turn, and no, you took me to Subway, and then we went to go to Wendy's, and he makes a U-turn in the middle of Route 60, which is 5 lanes across, and people have to stop, and he's like, "Oh, sorry," you know. He
All of
does
a
not
sudden,
care.
Andy rules apply to him.
That's right.
Andy rules apply to Wes's driving. It is.
You know, well, sorry about that, but I'm going here.
If you guys ever met me, I'm just passing through.
And his response to that is always, "Well, I haven't died yet, so obviously I'm good at it."
I ain't died yet.
So if your girls are at home listening to this, when you guys start learning how to drive, just
Do you drive like that with them, or is that more just you're by yourself or with us?
Yeah, just
I just can't.
I don't.
but he
I don't-
catches
I don't
himself
cop.
like he starts to do it.
I don't
So-
cop to ever driving the way you've just described. But
My wife listens to this.
I will say this. I will say I get where I'm going, and I don't typically sit in.
It's going to be a lot of editing. for
Now,
this episode.
If there's long lines of traffic, I ain't in it.
I can relate to you very, very strongly on that. One of the things that Tara just thinks I'm ridiculous about is my impatience with lines, especially when it comes to restaurants. Like, I'm not waiting 30 minutes to eat someplace.
Yeah, you'll walk in if there's a big line. You're like, see ya. I'll go somewhere
I'm
else.
gone. There's 10 other places around here that we
Now,
can
here's
do
a
that.
guy who manages a restaurant, and I'm sure, I don't know how he feels about that, but I feel the same. I walk in place, and I'm like, oh, so you can't handle the queue.
There's no food that is
See ya.
anywhere in this town that I'm willing to wait for,
Well, I mean,
except for Jewel City Seafood.
especially Jewel City Seafood.
15 minutes is my tops. Like, you come in, and I'm going to put my name down. It's 30 or 45 minutes. No.
It depends on how hungry I am when I get there. Because
Typically, you probably don't plan ahead too well. You're like, I'm hungry. I'm going to a restaurant.
Yeah.
You
If you're
walk in.
hangry, that was another one I passed up. If you're hangry,
that's why I'm not waiting, is because I'm hangry.
because you're hangry.
I hate lines. I hate lines, especially when the line is because the people in it have zero self-awareness. And they're just like, do. I'm talking to the cashier. I'm telling her my life story. You know,
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
had
that.
one of these the other day. It was pretty good.
You
How
know,
long-
we've been coming here for 15 years, and we still, we make the trip from Lawrenceville. We come down here from Lawrenceville once a month. We'll come down here, and
I realize
buy a
that
sandwich. We always get the number. We always get the number 4 meal deal.
now, do
And
you all
to-
still have them same pickles? Because my daddy always loved them pickles, and that's why we'd come down here. Because he'd say, I sure do like them pickles.
You're
they
not
have
the
over
same girl that waited on us last time, are you? Yes, I am. Well, we're going to tell you
Well,
about
you
this
gained
again.
a lot of weight.
Hey, that reminds me of racks in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
After church on Sundays, the people would come in, and there'd be like an enormous 1978 like Chrysler going. I'm working the drive-thru. I got the drive-thru, and of course the man's driving, but men don't order. The woman, 16 feet across that front seat, she's facing straight ahead, going, "I want 2 meals," and then put in that, "I want 2 meal deals, no mayonnaise, and then extra mayonnaise."
and then they're mad at you that you can't hear them.
Can you pull around? What's wrong with you? Can't hear?
Can you please help me? I want buns.
Yeah. They're- I can't say anything. I did that.
You are the heart and soul of this podcast. It's really. I went back and I've listened to the episode. I've listened to both episodes, not the first 2 episodes. I think maybe 2 to 3 times a piece.
Wow.
And I'm totally going into this like I remember I told Wes. I think I've already told you this. Going into it, I was like, Andy's gonna clam up. He's gonna be quiet. And I listen back and I'm like, we don't even have a show
Without Andy. If Andy's not on buns,
Rich Cool,
it's not cool.
Rich Cool, Andy, and just I can't wait. What I really, really can't wait for is because eventually, when this picks up, keeps going, there'll be an email address where people that listen to the show can write in.
Oh, yeah.
Andy can answer questions.
Oh, my gosh.
Give life advice.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Ask Andy instead of the Dear Abby. We'll have Dear Andy.
Dear Andy.
I would enjoy that. I would love to do that.
I will very much enjoy listening.
That's a wonderful segment for this podcast. We read the best emails and answer them.
What would Andy do?
Oh, man, Andy would say, "Get out of my way. I'm hungry." Andy would say, "Make me a sandwich and mow the grass."
It's just going to be emails from his wife. You thought that were funny, didn't you? Whenever you and your friends are done talking, grass still needs mowed.
Grass is awful high, buddy.
She actually doesn't care about it. I don't get pressure from her to cut her grass. What I do get pressure from
I thought you were talking about the podcast.
her parents.
Of course she does.
Her mom cuts they're like, they live next door, and her mom cuts their grass religiously, and it always looks fantastic. And then I come home, and mine's 3 feet high, and that's the pressure I feel from cutting grass. It doesn't come from her. She could care less.
But it's the comparison.
It's the comparison. Like, I'm the only house on this block that looks like nobody lives there, but we do live here. I'm just lazy.
You need to watch a Bluey episode called Hammer Barn. I'm going to find it and send it to you. It's only 7 minutes. You got to watch it.
Okay.
You're going to laugh.
That'll help you with the grass, I'm sure.
It will help you with all the grass.
I'll listen to it as I'm cutting the grass.
You got to watch it.
After 7 minutes, I'll stop.
Put in some super drag.
Oh, no, just stop mowing the grass.
We've talked.
That's fine. That's enough.
We've talked a lot less about
That'll
Super
do.
Drag than I thought we were going to over 3 or 4 episodes.
I mean, there's still time. That's a segment I would like to do is,
Super Drag?
well, not an analysis of their albums,
Just
but
why you're wrong about the best Super Drag album. We could do that.
What's the best super drag album? Why is it Regretfully Yours? I know what you're gonna say.
You know what? Super Drag doesn't even like Regretfully Yours. So.
I don't care what they think.
I want to. You guys are both going to be like, say, no, and just laugh and say that's ridiculous.
You're
You
gonna
know
say
why
vitriol.
there's no point in us sitting here yet or right now talking about Super Drag?
Why?
We will, and we can, and we will. The 3 of us will sit and talk to John Davis before this podcast is over.
You mean he's going to
Not this episode, obviously, but
You mean
it is absolutely 100% feasible for us to sit with John Davis.
if
talk
you were to
about
come
Super
in,
Drag for
if
an
you were to
hour.
come in town?
I think he would tell us to.
No, I'm in.
He's like, I'm too busy for this.
You're absolutely wrong.
Yeah,
And I don't see anything wrong with us making a day out of it and going.
I mean, if you can do it, my only issue is that we like super drag.
and we don't give a flying rat turd what anybody listening to this likes. If they don't like Super Drag, they're wrong.
Obviously, we don't care what they like, or we wouldn't be doing the podcast. We're here for you to ignore, people. But no, and I think
we would
you'll
not
be,
bring in people who are not famous and call them famous.
And I absolutely think that you're also 100% wrong. That
You think super drag?
power pop is a very, very, especially with gentlemen in our age group.
Gentlemen.
Power pop is a very, very
Men about town are super drag.
and they are in the upper echelons.
I would like to cast a wider net than just dudes our age.
Oh well, start a different podcast.
So that episode will be entitled Yeet This.
Yeet this out the window because we're going to talk about 25-year-old music.
What's today's episode title? Let's just call it Yeet This. Take this and yeet it.
Wes learns what yeet means.
Just yeet it, yeet it, yeet it, yeet it. Open up the door and yeet it. No. Let's talk about 5-3X, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about 5-3X.
If you just call the episode 53X, it'll get the most clicks of any episode that we post.
You can call it Thirst Trap. That would come up in a bunch of Google searches. Boy, are you going to be disappointed.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you have any questions or comments, drop us a line at Ask Andy at colormedad, that's DADD.com. We want to thank the good old boys at the OzarkMountainDaredevils.com for the killer bumper tune. Check them out. And check us out on the web at colormedad, that's DADD.com.